Hi everybody, my name's Catherine and I have a problem. And that problem is that I have somehow found this addiction to nude colored blushes. And I figured today's video, we could go through my whole collection of nude color blushes, swatch them out, just see where my obsession lies. So if that's something you want to watch, stick around. Well, that certainly escalated quickly. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I am a beauty and reselling enthusiast, and those are the things that I love to talk about. So if that's something you like to watch, consider subscribing before you go. This is my shame. This is my shame. Nude blushes, to be exact. This is not all the blushes that I have in my collection, but these are the blushes that I have been gravitating towards and have been purchasing like it's my job. I don't know when my love of nude blushes developed. I want to say it must have been sometime last year, and maybe it was just like the, I don't know, beauty world kind of skewing that way and providing some different shades compared to, you know, like pinks and peaches and oranges and all that sort of stuff. And somewhere in the middle came these shades, and I just was instantly gravitated towards them. So as you can see, I have collected many that fit that bill, and I figured it'd be really nice to kind of swatch some of them out. Well, not swatch some of them, we're gonna swatch all of them out, kind of see how they differ a little bit, but a lot of them are just the same. So this is just my way of documenting my addiction and to compare them all. So let's get started. So the first ones I'm going to swatch were actually requested by Beauty Obsession 777. Thank you so much for asking me to swatch these. So I believe it was the She's Seductive, She Goes to the Gym, and then the new Gucci blush. So I actually just picked these up in my Sephora haul, our Sephora sale haul, which I can link for you. So let's swatch these bad boys out first. So the Patrick Ta ones actually come with a balm and a powder, and then the Gucci one is just a powder. So if we look at this, I mean, I could tell you that these blushes, there's going to be a huge difference in them, and I would probably be lying to you. There's probably not a huge difference, but I love them all the same. So let's get to swatching. So here is the balm. I did say in my video with the Patrick Ta, so the Patrick Ta method, he actually talks about putting the powder on and then the balm on afterwards. I prefer to do the other way because I do have combo oily skin, and if I put the balm on top without powdering it down, it's going to be a giant mess. So yeah, that's how I do it. So that one is She's Seductive. Let's open this one up. So this one is She Goes to the Gym. It's actually a little bit more mauve-y, so I guess I should say some of my preferences are leaning kind of mauve. So that is what this one looks like. We'll do the balm. Yeah, definitely a lot mauvier. And then the powder. So then let's compare that to, this is the Gucci Blush Debutante. It's supposed to cheek and eye powder. That's nice. Luminous Matte. I didn't realize it was an eye powder as well. In the shade Rosy Beige. And that is what she looks like. So here are them all swatched out together. I'll swatch it over here too because the powders look a little bit similar compared to the balms. So we have the powder of the Gucci of she's seductive and she goes to the gym. All right, since we are on the train of new blushes, let's just keep going with it. So another one I picked up recently was the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Blush Stick in Garçon. I did say how the packaging is really lovely, but very misleading to the size of the actual product itself. That is what it looks like, a little bit more on the brownie tone of things. And I always keep my newest ones, the ones that I haven't used in my Shop My Stashes, in their boxes, so I know when I go into my collection, I know which ones that I've used before or which ones I want to put attention to. So that's why I'm returning them back to their boxes. The next one is Merit. This is their Flush Balm in Bespoke. What this looks like. So again, still a little bit on the redder side of things, but a different texture, as we can kind of see to the other ones. At least these balms still look pretty opaque, and then this balm looks a little bit transparent, like it could be buffed out a little bit. All right, this one is the newest to my collection, like literally just came in the mail yesterday. This is the ColourPop Liquid Blush, the weightless liquid blush. So they had just come out with a shade extension of these like pearly type of shades, and this one is in City Walk. I did pick this one up from the ColourPop website. I wonder if it will be coming to Ulta or Target. Sometimes that's a little bit more readily available than purchasing from ColourPop itself. Ooh, that's really pretty. Not as opaque as I thought it was going to be, a little bit more transparent, but it does have kind of that pearly essence to it. Gorgeous. Then we'll go to Fenty Beauty. We have a few Fenty Beauties in here. This one is the Suede Powder Blush in Bacon Cakes. Love the packaging on these. They're just so like unique, but you know, still fits in with the collection. So this is what Bacon Cakes looks like. I have these like little fuzzies everywhere. Oh, this feels so smooth. So that is what Bacon Cakes looks like. And I should say, if you can tell, I am very fair with cool neutral leaning undertones. So this is how it looks on someone with fair, cool neutral leaning undertones. And then the other one, the other Fenty that I actually got was through one of my subscription boxes. So this was a choice you could add on. And I had originally had my eye out for Bacon Cakes, and this was an option. I was like, you know what? Let's see if this would kind of satisfy that itch that I have been wanting with the Bacon Cakes one. And so this is what it looks like. A little bit more shimmery. Yeah, a lot more shimmery. So this isn't one, I mean, I guess I would call this more of a nude one, but I feel like it's leaning more on the orangey type of side. But those are those two together. So the Bacon Cakes one must be a little bit more on the matte. I wouldn't say it's a flat matte, more of a luminous matte type of shade. And then we have this one, the Tahiti Craze, is on the shimmery side of stuff. Then we have MAC Mineralized. This is a blush in Humor Me. So I was just, you know, doing my Pinterest thing and the world knows that I love nude blushes, so it sends me tons of nude blushes, and one of them it sent me was Warm Soul from MAC. So of course I go down that rabbit hole, and then I look at the other shades, and then this one spoke to me just a little bit more. This one is in Humor Me. What I love about nude blushes is that it's kind of this, is it bronzer? Is it blush? It's kind of a mixture of both. A very multi-purpose tool, but that one is really pretty. We have Milani Berry Amore. This is a baked powder blush, again, new from Ulta. You can see that like baked goodness in there. Okay, so that's definitely more on the orangier, peachy side as well. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Luminoso, maybe a little bit darker and deeper than Luminoso is. I do have, but I consider Luminoso more of a peach blush, so that's why I didn't include it in this. Another Milani blush. This is the Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush and Glow. I got mine in the shade 150 Cafe. As you can see, I am not afraid to do lots of different types of formulas. We have powders, we have balms, we have liquids, we have mattes, we have shimmers. I don't care. I love them all. So let's see how this one looks. I can say I'm not a huge fan of the puffball, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, this one looks a little bit, I was gonna say red, kind of on a red side of things, but I don't know. What do we think about that one? It is pretty. I do like the kind of the shimmery bits of it. And you know, whenever you see something online and you see swatches of it and you're just like, oh, that's the best thing ever, I need to have it. And then you get it in your possession and you're like, that's not what I thought it was. But also these are arm swatches, so it's gonna look a little bit different on your face when it's going to be diffused out a little bit further. It's not next to a bunch of different colors. So this is just giving you a general idea of what things kind of look like. So the next product is going to be from Glossier. This is their Cloud Paint Seamless Cheek Color in Storm. So I'm going to be extra careful with this one because last time when I swatched it, it was very pigmented because I got a huge blop of it. But as we can see, this one is a little bit on the redder side as well. Build it up a little bit more. This one is not as scary as the other swatch that I did that was like 5 times that amount, and it was very, very, very opaque and a little scary. It had me questioning my decisions, but doing this, I definitely like that tone a lot better. What other new ones do we have? Ah, yeah, the Morphe one. So I would say I am not a Morphe person, and I never was a Morphe person. Like Morphe, the crux and height of Morphe was before I really started watching beauty YouTube, and when I started getting into it, they kind of declined pretty quickly, but it seems like they're on the up and up again. They have been releasing a lot of like really interesting products, things that I've been very curious about, and this one definitely piqued my interest the most. This is the Cheek Thrills Multi-Finish Face Trio in After Party. So this is what it looks like. Very much kind of a Patrick Ta, one size-esque kind of product, but let's go for the balm first. Okay, that's pretty nice. Then we have the, oh, that's a balm too. Okay. I did not think that looked like a balm, but it is a balm. Okay, that's very, very metallic-y. And then we have the powder on the bottom. Ooh, that's nice. So we have the top balm, the middle shimmer balm, and then the kind of luminous powder on the bottom. All right, I think that covers my newest ones. So now we'll move on to the ones that have been in my collection for a little bit. We'll start with one that's currently in my Shop My Stash. And if you'd like to know some of the other products I'm using, I'll link that for you. But this is Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blush in the shade in Provence. Now, I was a little bit concerned that it said it was a moisturizing blush because that made me think that it was going to be pretty dewy. And like I said, I have very oily cheeks. And so, you know, a dewy type of blush I need to be cautious of, or I need to pair it with a powdered blush. But this one actually like set down, I don't want to say matte, but it definitely set down almost like to a powder finish. And it lasted all day. It was beautiful. I mean, as you can see, that little corner hasn't set down yet, but this, you can see it setting down, and it's such a beautiful color. Oh, I love it. Like this was kind of an unsung hero. I didn't know if I was going to like it, but I ended up really liking it and have been enjoying using it. Now let's go into this Bare Minerals bronzer. This is the Gen Nude bronzer, so a blush bronzer in the shade of Kiss of Pink. And you'll see I have a few other kind of like blush bronzer type of category products and stuff like that. But this is what this one looks like. More on the pinky peach side, but I would still say, you know, it would fit into this nude category of blushes. A nice little hint of shimmer to it, kind of luminosity, not glittery, but adds a nice little shimmer. The next two we'll talk about are both from Huda Beauty. This is her blush filter, one of the newest blush products that she has. I have mine in the shade Coco Loco and Latte. Latte I have swatched before, I just haven't used it in a Shop My Stash yet, so why it's still in the bag. And then we got a little fiber there. Little fibers get everywhere. This one I will say be cautious of because it is quite, I'm going to use my pinky for this. It is quite dark and deep. But if you can use it sparingly, it kind of creates this really nice, like, nude berry type of shade. Really pretty. I was thinking that one was just a little bit more nude than what it actually is, but it's definitely leans a little bit more on the berry side. When I was going through these, picking these out, I just kind of was going on memory or intuition of what I think that they were, since I haven't swatched some of these in a really long time. But here is the one in Latte. Yeah, that one's definitely more on the nudie side of stuff. I smelt it and it smells fruity. I don't think I ever remember the smell of it before. But with these, they dry down very quickly, so use caution when putting them on your face. That you're either working very quickly or only do one side of your face at a time. But that is what those two look like. Now we're gonna go to kind of an OG one. I've had this for a long time. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic Swish and Glow Blusher in Pillow Talk. Charlotte she's known for her very tongue twistery names of products, but this is what it looks like. So you can kind of use the outer or the inner. I usually just mix them both. And to be honest, this is kind of one of the OG nude type of blushes that I own. I wouldn't say this started my love of them, but it's definitely an OG. Then going into Pat McGrath Labs, this is the Skin Fetish Divine Blush in Flirtatious. I always have a difficult time opening up these packages. Really pretty. I would say it's a little bit of a drier formula compared to others, and I don't feel like the payoff is perfect, but once you get it there, it's really pretty. Here is another Patrick Ta. This one is currently my Shop My Stash as well, and this one is Not Too Much. And I joked in my Sephora haul video that this Not Too Much one reminds me a lot of the She's Seductive one up here, but they were slightly different, just slightly, so I had to pick it up, you know, for science. And it's a little bit more on the peachier side compared to the She's Seductive up here. But gorgeous nonetheless. Then we have our MAC Glow Play Blush in Blush Please. This is also in my Shop My Stash. This one is a very putty type of blush, as we can see. Oh, so pretty. I can't help it. I can't help it. So the next one is Clinique, the Cheek Pop Blush Pop in Nude Pop. Cute little like blush floral embossing in there. A little bit more on the lighter side compared to some of these others. This one is kind of been a new fave of mine. This is from Half Magic. This is their Cheek Fluff in Pink Mushroom. And I kind of like really dig this packaging. It's a compostable packaging. You can take it out. You can put it in a Z palette or something like that. But I actually just keep it in here because I don't really have any. I don't have any Z palettes, and I kind of like the packaging. So similar to MAC, it's a very putty type of blush. And this one has a little bit of luminosity to it. So it shows up a little bit kind of yellow and orange when you're swatching it, but when you kind of put it on the skin with a fluffier brush, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look as yellow, but so pretty. We're running out of arm and we still have about a third to go. The next one is going to be the Purlisse Blush Glow BB Cheek and Lip Cream Blush and Lip Color in the shade Nude Sugar. This is also something I got in one of my subscription boxes that I was super thrilled about. It is more on the glossy side of stuff, maybe leans on the mauve side of nude blushes, but it too is really pretty. Like I set it down with a powder so it lasts, and it's a beautiful color. What can I say? I've used it for both a blush and a lip color, and I mean, as a lip color you would definitely need to reapply it, but it works as both, which I don't typically do that. I don't typically use products multi-purposefully like that. Usually I kind of stick with one way that I like it, but that one is really pretty both ways. All right, let's start down here. We have the Jouer Blush and Bloom Uplift Cheek and Lip Duo. So it does have two different sides. Again, this can be a multi-purpose tool, but I preferred this one more as blush. So we have the Amuse Me side, which this one is a little bit more on the pinky mauve side of stuff. And then we have the Uplift Me side, which is more of the nude peachy side. Another cream blush is the Tower 28. This is their Beach Please luminous color in the shade Magic Hour. This one was in my Shop My Stash last month. So pretty. This one too, I can get really oily with, so I do have to powder it down. So we have officially run out of arm. So I should say forearm. So we will start swatching things on the side. This is Sigma Cream Blush in Quarter Rosa. Really pretty. This CoverGirl one also is an OG. This has been in my collection for a very long time. This is in the shade Soft Mink. It's their classic color, and it is a shimmery type of blush. I don't think the packaging, they have the same packaging anymore, which is good because I don't really prefer this packaging. But that color, yes. This is like a $6 blush or something a lot less expensive than a Patrick Ta or a Westman Atelier, and performs just as well. Moving forward with RMS Beauty, this is the Redimension Hydra Powder Blush in Crystal Slipper. This one is the newest color from RMS Beauty that I picked up. Like, so almost so similar. I'm glad that I swatched this. It's so similar to the CoverGirl one. I mean, the CoverGirl one looks a little bit like shimmery or luminous, more luminosity to it, but they look almost identical. All right, here's where we kind of get into the bronzer blush duos, similar to, what's the other one? I know I had it. Oh, the Bare Minerals. I had to think about it. So this is from Jones Road. This is actually my first product from Jones Road. This is the bronzer in Dusty Rose. So technically it is marketed as a bronzer, but oh, look at that. Look at that. That's like my two worlds colliding, of bronzer and blush. Is it bronzer? Is it blush? We don't know. It's both, right? It's both. And this is currently in my Shop My Stash as well. That's not swatching super well, going against the grain of my hair, but it is beautiful for sure. And then also, this is an OG too. This is from Laura Geller. This is their Baked Bronze and Brighten in Fair. So it is kind of like a bronzer blush combination, a baked formula. This one is on its last leg. I think this is the last hurrah of it because she's getting a little dry. But as you can see, just kind of a light luminosity, a light shimmer to it. That's what I like. I don't like super matte looking anything, so I like to have some sort of shimmer on there. All right, it's the last row. We have Milani. This one is in Romantic Rose. This is from their Rose Powder Blush. Definitely on the lighter side of nude in my collection. But has its place for sure. This one is newer to me. This is from Ravi Beauty. This is their Endless Diffusion Everyday Baked Blush in Paradise. The one thing I don't like about this blush is the ginormous packaging. It really takes up a lot of space. But it is really pretty. So let's put it right here. Oh, so pretty. I lotioned up beforehand and I feel like it's getting caught in the lotion. But we can still see how gorgeous it is. Moving forward with Persona, this is their Super Blush in Caramel. think it's caramel. But look at the difference of this. This is what I want because I have so many. I want them to be a little bit smaller footprint. But you know, we work with what we got. So this is, what did I say? Caramel. Ugh. Again, kind of more on that like mauve-y side of stuff. So pretty. Then we move to Lawless, which is the Pinch My Cheeks Soft Blur Cream Blush in Angel. So a little bit more on the pinky side. Beautiful as well. And is this the last one? This is the last one. Okay. This also came in a subscription box. I think I added it on to my FabFitFun box, if I'm not mistaken. This is Hourglass Vanish Blush in Devoted. One thing I do not like about this one in particular is it doesn't close. Like, it sounds like it closes, but it's not very secure. I do have another one in a berry color that is a little bit more secure, so I think it's just something with this specific packaging. But again, kind of on a pinky side of stuff. But I still kind of more put it in the nude pile compared to anything else. Doing a quick search to see if I actually swatched everything. I think I did. Yes. Okay. So this is the outcome of my obsession. Can we see how that Laura Mercier one really dried down? Oh, so pretty. This is my obsession. Send help. So which one do I think is my favorite? Oh my gosh, I don't know. They're all so pretty. There are actually a little bit more differences in the colors than I expected there to be. Like, I expected my arm to just kind of be the same shade, but there definitely is a difference. And so I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. And I probably do need to slow my roll on buying nude blushes because now I've come into the problem that I don't have enough storage space for all of these blushes. So I'm thinking I might do another beauty chores video where I have to figure out some space and move some things around. So if you're interested in seeing that process, let me know your interest down below and I will try to make that happen sooner than later. But thank you so much for joining me in this swatch party of all the things that I've been loving lately. This brings so much joy and excitement to my life and like what my dopamine is riding on at this moment. So I really do. I love all of these and I look forward to using them throughout the year. And just follow along, stick around, and you'll see these in my upcoming Shop My Stashes. But thanks so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the wonderful YouTube things. Let me know what is your beauty obsession down below. Are you on the nude blush train like I am? Did you have a favorite color out of all of these? Let me know all the things. And with that, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.